Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for July 8th. Sorry, it's a little bit late right now. I took a little bit more time than I wanted to prepping for the watch list. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's keep this quick. There are actually a lot of plays that I'm looking at for tomorrow, but so I'm just gonna go through with my main plays tonight. Basically, three main plays. But before we do that, let's take a look at the futures right now. We are gapping down 15.5 points. So basically that's about $1.50, $1.60 to in relation to the SPY. Now, the reason for this gap down is basically the Asian markets, they are opening a lot lower and they're sliding right now. So with that said, Morgan Stanley also came out with news today and said that they are uh, kind of pulling out of the global markets in itself. So that is causing the Asian markets to slide a little bit. Taking a look at the SPY real quick right here on this intraday 30-minute chart. I mean, if we are gapping down, this blue line is where we are about at right now, around this 297. And for the past few days, you see a nice trend line that it followed, eventually busted through, right? And it held this trend line. This trend line is very important, and it looks like we're gapping down into it. So tomorrow, depending on the pre-market, we'll see what it does around this trend line area. Personally, I want to see it snap through under and come back up and test this 297 and fail. There is a long way down if it does fail this trend line. I mean, the 200 SMA on the intraday chart here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Is at around this 294.25, right? So let's go to the daily chart real quick. Once again, we have this blue line where we're gapping down right now. So I want to see pre-market a little more lower than this 297, and then just open up and just fail from there. And perhaps this is my first target here, these lows here at 296. Okay, if you come across here this 296 area and you see on June 20th, this is where we had massive volume and this is the opening price, right? So it made sense on Friday that it bounced off here. However, Friday we were basically coming back from Independence Day a few days after. So, and we had that data from the job data, I believe, and that data kind of gap down the market. It did try to rally though from the initial gap down, but I don't see tomorrow with the market rebounding because of the overall Asian markets tanking right now. It'll probably take a few days for it to consolidate and run back up the overall market. Looking at this 9 EMA here, we are a little bit above and extended on this 9 EMA. So what I'm thinking is that the market will kind of come back down and consolidate slowly back down here to this 9 EMA. This 9 EMA is definitely a good watch here around the 295 area. So tomorrow around 295.50. As you come across here, you see some nice support area. Okay, so this area here, look for bounces around the 295.60 as well. Okay, so that's my take on the SPY, on my thesis on the SPY. So overall, looking for pop and drop at the open. And with that said, a few of the tickers that I'll be looking at here, my main watch is actually going to be BABA. Okay, so let's load up some drawings on BABA. BABA correlates to China a lot. Okay, it's one of the major tickers that is affected when the Chinese market or when the Asian markets come down, right? So this is why I want to be looking at BABA tomorrow. On Friday, it gapped down and it continues to sell off. BABA overall, this daily chart, it's kind of weird to trade because it's got many gaps, right? But if I were to kind of like try and draw some trend lines out, right? the short-term trend always trumped the long-term, and this is a very nice correlating trend line that I'm seeing right now. And over here where we had massive volume on June 18th on this day, from the lows, I can connect this, and it does look like that Baba wants to test this 50 EMA here, okay? As China or the Asian market slips, I think it's going to very much affect Baba as well. The 170 area is very key as a support area. Currently, we're sitting at 173.30. And after hours, you see a couple of ticks below as well. As we're coming into the close, it tried to rebound and got stuffed at this 173.60 area. So I am thinking that we are going to open up under this 173 gap down here. Now, with that said, I'm looking for a pop and drop. For the prior few days, we see that short sellers have definitely piled in, and it's overall, it's unable to rebound, right? So we see this 176, we got major sellers here. And then if we're coming closer to Friday, we do see that this area here at this 174.80s area, this got sold off huge. There was a seller sitting up here. So if the stock does rebound, you can expect to wait and short around this area. This is the immediate level that I'm looking at, the immediate resistance level. As you see this major volume coming down, the low of this 30-minute bar on July 3rd is at 173.85. Okay, so it came down with massive volume and bounced from there. And then on Friday, it just sold off, right? And this here is a kill candle. Okay, so kill candle, and then at the open it tried to get above and it couldn't. So this is the major area that I'm looking for the sellers to come in. As you can see, we have this 50 EMA coming down on it as well on the 30-minute chart. Okay, whether it can get above it or not, I really don't know. If I was a short seller, I would, or if I was a seller in general, after seeing this major kill bar, and if I had hammered this in, there is no reason for me to cover yet, because my risk would be around this area, this 174, right? Even if it grinds back up, you can expect some weak hands to kind of cover, but as it comes back close to this 173.80 to 174 area, you should expect these sellers coming back in. And overall, like I said, the Asian markets are sliding, so I'm expecting this to open a lot lower. So if we are opening a lot lower, I'm expecting a cover pop at the open. Wait for price discovery, wait for the cover pop and the first uprun momentum to kind of flatten out before I hammer it in short. Okay, this 173.50, pretty nice level as well. But so definitely we'll be watching this level as well from yesterday's close to 173.50, and of course the 173. So the thesis is overall on BABA, if it holds above 173, this key area, then I would long it for about a point, right? If it holds under this 173, I would short it. And actually, the main target here is 170. Baba, the average true range is $3 and about $3.80, $3.70. So coming from 173 to 170, definitely doable. Okay, expect a little tiny bounce here at this 9 EMA, but only probably for a few hours before the sellers come back in and hammer it right back down again. So that's what I'm kind of looking for here on BABA tomorrow, and it's going to be on my main watch. Okay, next up we have AMD. Now, AMD, I do like. Today, this morning, they came out with news about their new products and that it's going on sale. So AMD tomorrow morning, the first thing I'll be doing is checking the news feed and taking a look if any analyst comes out with rating on it and what they think about the new news coming out and their new products as well. Coming into the daily chart, you see this 32 is a very key resistance as we have massive volume coming in here on the spike. And then when this tried to come back up and got stuffed at 32, this is actually the first lower high. So we do have a nice downtrend line on the daily chart. Now we closed pretty strong right near this downtrend line. So I am expecting a slight little gap up in the pre-market, and then from there we should start selling off following the overall market. We actually have a resistance zone here, so anywhere from this 31.85 to 32 area, this is like a resistance zone. So the thesis is, as long as it stays under this 32, this resistance zone, then it's a short for me. And then if it gets above and starts holding 32, then it would be a long for me, because that would prove to be a breakout. Definitely waiting for the discovery period to finish before I get into my first trade. That way I can be nice and sure, and perhaps swing it for a nice intraday swing for maybe a point or so on AMD. Now, coming over here though, I mean, AMD, it does look pretty strong on the daily chart. We have like a little mini wedge on the short-term side here. So I don't expect this to fail hard tomorrow. Given they have a good catalyst about their new product and everything, we do see some sort of support here. Pretty nice support at around the 31-ish area here. Zoom out real quick here. AMD. Yeah, so the 50 EMA here, 31. Okay, this is major support for sure, as it tried 3 days in a row and bounced off it. So 30.75. Okay, so we're gonna mark that off as a green major support area. Okay, if I am shorting it, this is going to be my major last target. However, my first target, I guess I'll take some profits around this area, this 31.20, the 50 EMA. So I'm going to mark that off here as green mini. And then we have the resistance zone from the 85s to the 32. Okay, so in a perfect case scenario, I am expecting this to gap up, but it'll probably happen in the pre-market and then start selling off. And with my broker, because we're unable to trade pre-market here on this platform, I might just miss the pre-market move, which is not a problem at all. We'll have to definitely reevaluate during pre-market though. So, but the stock is coming into a lot of major resistance here. So this is a resistance area. This here is a resistance zone as well. So looking for it to get stuffed and then profit take from Friday. Okay, so that's AMD. Let me save this drawing actually, since I just drew all over it here. Okay. And then finally, we have Roku would be my third watch here, and another main watch. Now, Roku, what I want to talk about is this here. It's this candle with the massive volume. It's its prior earnings date, right? And it ran up from there, and from here we had a downgrade. So we had a massive kill bar and then some sort of a slow fade down. Now on Friday, the stock has reclaimed this area now. So this 96, I believe it's 96.50. Okay, so 96.50. What's the low here? Yeah, 96.50. So this 96.50 is a main watch, okay? As long as it holds this 96.50, it's still a bullish stock in my opinion. However, that doesn't mean I'm buying it tomorrow for sure, because the overall market is sliding right now. And Roku, on days that it doesn't have high relative volume, it doesn't really it follows the SPY quite well. And this 12 million, Roku only did like relative volume of about 1.0, so pretty average on the day. I am expecting like a little gap up since the stock closed so well around its highs. So gap up and then a drop from there. We have major resistance. This next level, 99.75, is very key. However, I don't see it getting up as high. It might get up as high, but this is a key level, 99.75 here. So I'm going to mark this off here on the daily chart as a major resistance area. It might want the 100, so it's pretty much the 100. And from there, we also have the 99 psychological whole number as well, right? We are coming into that $99 area. So we're gonna mark that off too. Looking for profit take. If the SPY's gonna tank, it's gonna take Roku with it. Probably out the gates from the wait for a few candles and see if there is continued buying momentum. If there isn't, then I'm going to short it and fade it for a profit target of this 96.50s area. Okay, from 96.50, if you miss the first dip, right, don't be too worried about it. It'll definitely try to balance out here at 96.50, and from here it's gonna hold flat a little bit for sure, and you can definitely long it back up. I am expecting Roku to trade kind of sideways, and from the 96.50 it will show relative strength compared to the SPY, in my opinion, and that's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so I do expect 96.50 to hold the stock in place. If not, it might just spike out, and be careful of the down spike out, right? So kind of like a wake off spring, it might just come down and then get rebought real quick to draw out the weak hands as well. Overall, like I said, Roku is a pretty strong stock. It reclaimed this inflection point of 96.50 where it was its prior earnings. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I am looking at other tickers as well, but just the three main plays would be BABA, AMD, and Roku for tomorrow. And of course, the SPY is always, so you can always trade the SPY. It's definitely in play with so many catalysts at hand right now. So the SPY can definitely trade a couple points, maybe $1.50 on the SPY would be a nice day on the SPY. Can't get too greedy on the SPY. The overall market, it's kind of dangerous right now, and Trump could just come out with a tweet and just move the market, right? So many catalysts. So trade safe, take your profits quick and concise, and if you're wrong on your thesis, then get out quickly and reset. And yeah, that's basically it. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy my watch list. Check out the video link description below. I've been reading a lot lately, and I put all my book suggestions on trading down there in the video links description as well. So check those out, and I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Let's start off this week green. Ciao.